tell you if we want to run it again.
Well, how about it, Mr. Ralston?
How do you like it, boys?
Well, 70 years in a man's life.
That's a lot to try to get into a newsreel.
It's a good shot, Thompson, but what it needs is an angle.
Yeah.
All we saw on that screen was that Charles Foster Kane is dead. I know that. I read the papers. You see, Thompson, it isn't enough to tell us what a man did. You've got to tell us who he was.
Needs that angle.
Certainly. Wait a minute. What were Kane's last words? Do you remember, boys?
Yes, sweet.
What were the last words he said on Earth? Maybe he told us all about himself on his deathbed.
Yeah, and maybe he didn't. Maybe it was just
All we saw on that screen was a big American.
one of the biggest.
But how is he any different from Ford, or Hearst for that matter, or John Doe?
Yeah, sure.
I tell you, Thompson, a man's dying words.
What were they? You don't read the papers.
When Charles Foster Kane died, he said just one word.
Rosebud.
Not only
A
that,
tough guy, huh?
Yes, Rosebud.
Guy's calling
just
for
that
Rosebud.
one word. But who is she?
What was that?
Here's a man that could have been president, who was as loved and hated and as talked about as any man in our time. But when he comes to die, he's got something on his mind called Rosebud. Now, what does that mean?
A racehorse he bet on once.
Yeah, that didn't come in.
All right. But what was the race?
Rosebud.
Thompson.
Yes, Mr. Ralston.
All this picture up a week. 2 weeks if you have
Don't you
to.
think right after he's dead, it might have
Find out about Rosebud. Get in touch with everybody that ever knew him. Oh, who knew him well. That manager of his, Bernstein. His second wife. She's still living.
Susan Alexander
He's
Kane.
running a nightclub in Atlantic City.
Yeah, that's right.
See them all. Get in touch with everybody that ever worked for him. Whoever loved him. Whoever hated his guts. I don't mean go through the city directory, of course.
I'll get on it right away, Mr. Ralston.
Good. Rosebud. Dead or alive.